Hey, it's James, Father's Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. For those of you who don't like my tone and the way I talk harshly, first and foremost, we're in a war on fatherhood. This is not pretty. It's not a tiptoe through the tulips to be nice, sweet, and gentle. And men are running around and tiptoeing through the tulips and playing gentle and soft in this warfare. So I have to wake you guys up. And then there's fathers' rights groups who are playing tiptoe through the tulips and not accomplishing anything. So I have to call them out for the bullcrap. But on top of that, there's a guy here that is a great example of the knuckleheads I have to deal with who stalk me in my DMs like some kind of psychotic gay stalker who feels scorned and is obsessed with me and demanding that I give him free help. And then in this particular case, this guy threatens that he wants to do a family-on-family brawl, and he wants my daughter beat up by his kids. But yeah, and he wants to, and because I don't engage with him, then he continues to stalk me weeks later. This is the type of madness I have to deal with. So I have to deal with loser dads coming on my page hating it and mad that I won and I brag about winning. When the whole reason I talk about winning is to give guys hope that you can win. I'm a warehouse worker who flunked out of college and got full custody of my daughter when she was 7 months old. And I've won in the Court of Appeals and destroyed attorney after attorney. I've won some and lost some, but the wins that I have are way more significant than my losses. Fighting off bogus restraining orders, winning contempt on the first try, winning the Court of Appeals a couple times against an attorney with 37 to 45 years experience, the different times I took him to court. Fighting off guardian lives. And then guys like this are such emotionally triggered males with feminine energy that they go crazy on me. And this guy is lucky I'm not vindictive with gay and female energy like he has, or I could call CPS on him and let CPS know that this guy's running around threatening people to use the kids to fight and beat up other kids. I could easily get his kids taken away by CPS. And hopefully his baby's mom isn't watching, or somebody else who might call CPS. I'm not going to do it. But he's running the risk of doing that. And I'll show you a couple other reasons why he's effing around with the wrong person. But let's take a look at how this started so you guys can see that I have to sift through not only losers and whining and crying dads and dads complaining that I charge for my time after they spent $100,000 on losing attorneys that gave them bad advice. 1 hour with me, every single person who's ever commented on time with me says 1 hour with me. They've learned more than their attorney or attorneys told them in a year or 2 or 3. The only exception is guys who got a consult with me and they have a follow-up, and then they want free information. Like, I already got a consult with you. I'm like, that doesn't mean you get a free. If you go to a doctor and you have a follow-up, the next follow-up isn't free. If you go to a psychologist and you get counseling, you don't get a free second appointment because you went to the first one. But guys think they're entitled to that with me. And then when I don't answer their text at 4 a.m. or midnight or whatever and give them a free consult, then they start hating on me and saying, you don't know jack squat, but they follow it up with me. So anyway, this is the type of craziness I have to deal with. Take a look. So here goes Mario Rostro on TikTok. And what happened was he came on my page and I was talking about getting a drug test, and then he said, they won't make her. So this is a loser comment saying, because I lost and in court, nobody else can win. And this is the mentality that's a problem with men. So then I did a video saying, this is what's wrong with men. They come on my page and they say, I lost, so I can't win, and neither can anybody else. And I've helped thousands of guys, hundreds of guys, get drug tests on mothers and stuff like that. And then he wants to just tell me his whole life story. But also check out my DMs. This guy, he goes out of his way to say, after I made that comment, because he had a stupid comment, let's talk, a-hole. I guarantee your kids can't fight. I've had full custody, and you could never give my fam a challenge. So he calls me F-face. This is back in March, okay? So this guy, I guess his kids can beat up my kid who's 24 now, because he teaches them to box. He also, at his church there, Paso Church, down in Paso Robles, California, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, he does a boxing day with his brother and teaches kids how to fight. But then he turns around and says, let's come catch this family brawl fade. So then I don't answer him. And then I deleted my reply because he got all butthurt about it, but I saved a picture of it. And then he starts telling me his whole life story and thinks that I'm going to sit there and help him. Okay? So then I don't answer him telling me his whole life story. He has a welfare mentality. He thinks that he found a father's rights advocate, and that since I was arguing with him over a stupid comment he made, that I have to give him some legal advice. I don't give him any legal advice. He says, so all I can say, F you if you're not down for what I got. So he's acting like a female playing victim because he didn't get a welfare handout. So then another week later, he says, so you finally see my page. I guess he saw a view of me because I looked at his page immediately after the first threat. And then he says, so you finally seen my page, F face. I'm made because you don't believe. Let me ask you, my daughter at 5 can swim and ride a bike and dive in a pool. Okay, he's bragging about his daughter's ability to swim later than my daughter was able to swim. So what? Not just that she can box, she can weld. She's here with dad, F face. You have to understand, I'm pissed at you. Trying to do my best, a-hole. Sorry, I'm not the old. You're lucky because I really wanted to meet you. Another time say, look, come meet me and catch this fade. So, he's out here doing good services and good deeds at his church, and then he turns around and wants to tell dudes who, he just came across the best father's rights advocate he could ever come across, and he's calling me F-face and threatening me and say, come catch this fade with me and my kid. So, this is the insanity I have to deal with. Now, this Mario Maestro guy, I could easily call the police down there and talk about his constant, stalking and threats. I could easily call CPS, like I think I mentioned earlier, and tell them this guy is running around and using his kids to threaten other parents. Also, I got people all over the world and in America who love me and love my work, and I saved their life with their kids, and they would do anything for me. And I've had people say, if somebody threatens you, because they've seen me being threatened and harassed, that guy's from my area, do you want me to do something about it? And I don't call upon people to do that. I know people in Bakersfield I think that's an hour and 20 minutes away from this guy, from not so friendly areas. And this guy's threatening and talking ish to me. And then he says he wants his kids to fight my daughter. My daughter took boxing lessons from a Golden Gloves boxer who had told me one time after like her second or third little training session, he said, James, I would just go pick up my daughter, say hi and bye to him. I actually did a highlight mixtape for his son who played basketball. And then I just happened to, I didn't know who he was, who that kid was, or who his dad was, a Golden Gloves boxer, until I bumped to his dad later. Anyway, he had me come in, he said, watch this, and he showed me what she did on the bag. He said, this is one of the hardest punching females I've ever seen. And then she has a great reach. And this Mario guy is saying, I want my daughter to fight your daughter. And his daughter's, I don't know how old his daughter is now. This is what happens when you have a guy with an ego mixed with feminine emotional feelings, and they run their mouth off. And he's obviously a little bit crazy, or probably did some drugs himself, because he is, running around threatening random people he doesn't even know and saying, come catch this fade. And he's been in court, and it looks like he's had CPS involved. And if CPS found out what he's doing, he could lose his kid. And then he's running around repping a church down there. I bet my baby's mom in a church where half the people turn out to be fake and phony. So I've seen real Christians, I've seen real fake phonies. I know and understand the word. even though I don't look like I got all my stuff together. But these are the